Good afternoon, everyone. Here starts our press conference of increment 3738. I would like to remind you that the launch is on September 26th. That will be TMA-10M Soyuz vehicle. And I would like to introduce the crew to you. Oleg, Kotov, Soyuz commander and commander of the ISS. Sergey Ryazanskiy, flight engineer for Soyuz and for the ISS, Roscosmos. And Michael Hopkins, flight engineer for the Soyuz vehicle and for the ISS. The backup crew: Alexander Skvortsov, Soyuz commander and flight engineer for the ISS, Roscosmos. Oleg Artemyev, flight engineer for the Soyuz vehicle and the ISS. Swanson, FE2 for Soyuz and flight engineer for the ISS. And the head of the GCTC, Sergey. So my address today will be very standard. As usual, I won't say anything new to you. The results of the examinations of the prime crew and the backup crew showed that the crew is ready. The Intergovernmental Commission also approved the composition of the crew, and I have seen actually the reports of their training flow, and everything looks great. So to sum up, I can say that the crew is absolutely prepared for the flight on the Soyuz vehicle and for the ISS mission. So we have the next stage of preparation and their training at Baikonur. We're looking forward to it. Thank you very much. So if you have any questions, please introduce yourself and then ask a question. First of all, I would like to congratulate you on the upcoming flight. On behalf of all the people present here, I would like to ask Oleg, Kotov, what mascot will you have during this mission? Thank you. Can you hear me? Yes. Great. Thank you very much for such a unique question. First, it's our mascot. Maybe it's easy to show it. It's a veteran of 2 space flights already. It's a cat. This cat will fly with me for the 3rd time. So this toy's name is Ginger. So these are the first syllables of the names of my children who presented me this cat. Thank you very much. So next question. So can you tell Can you hear me? Are you looking forward to the expansive scientific program on board the ISS? You will be doing medical, biological experiments. Well, they will be doing some technical experiments too, and yes, I know that, but I know that there will be doctors, surgeons aboard the station. So can you describe us what experiments you'll be involved in? Okay, I will start answering this question. Our scientific program is pretty standard. However, there are a couple of differences in it still. We will be performing the biological and medical experiments. We are surgeons, as you know, so we have this background. And some of these experiments were provided by the Institute of Medical and Biological Problems. And all the scientists that were providing us with these experiments tried to prepare us as much as they could. Of course, we will try to do our best. We will try to perform our medical biological experiments as well as we can. So we will be participating in the preparation of some experiments as well on board the station, and the next crew will be performing these experiments for us. We will have also some spacewalks. The first spacewalk, besides some technical tasks, installation of scientific hardware, also involves taking an Olympic torch to space with us. The remaining spacewalks will be devoted to the upgrading of the technical hardware of our station, and we will also be preparing the Russian segment for the arrival of the new Russian module, MLM.
Спасибо большое.
Thank you very much.
Наверное, Майкл, ничего добавить не хочешь?
Michael, would you like to add a couple of words?
Yeah, so for the experiments that'll be on the USOS segment.
Наш эксперимент будет на американском сегменте станции выполнен.
We'll be executing over 100 different types of experiments that range from ones where we're very involved in to ones that we're just indirectly involved in.
У нас будет выполнено около 100 экспериментов, даже больше этого количества. И в какие-то мы частично вовлечены, а в какие-то мы будем вовлечены полностью.
And these experiments will range from human research experiments to biology, to physics experiments, and engineering demonstrations.
И среди этих экспериментов будут исследования поведения человека, физиология и различные медико-биологические эксперименты.
Спасибо большое.
Thank you.
Пожалуйста.
Next question.
Здравствуйте, Дмитрий Стругайц.
Hello, Interfax News Agency. My name is Dmitry. So I have a follow-on question for Oleg Kotov. Could you please describe in more detail how these spacewalks will take place? What will you do with the Olympic torch? Which tasks will you be performing during this spacewalk? And can you please describe the program or preparation for the Russian Olympics on the ISS? Do you have any special events planned on the ISS? So can you please expand on that? Maybe you will have some press conferences, maybe you will be giving interviews or something. So what will you do? So that's my first question, and the second question is regarding the MLM module. When will the MLM launch? Will it launch by the end of this year? If yes, then how will your mission program change if the MLM slips right? So, and then how will your scientific program be adjusted to your backgrounds? Yes, you asked a lot of questions, so please ask the question about the MLM and then the rest of the questions. Yes, because I haven't remembered all the questions that you asked. All right, so the MLM launch slipped to April next year. Unfortunately, our increment will not see the arrival of the MLM. However, we will be preparing the Russian segment to be ready to the arrival of this module. So probably our backup crew will be participating in all those events. However, we have completed the training for the arrival of the MLM. So that's all I can say about the MLM module. Nobody said anything about flames. Maybe you saw that there is no flame there. And the company that manufactures these torches has already prepared a couple of videos showing how they manufacture these Olympic torches. This is the torch with which we had special training classes in a special laboratory at GCTC. So it was apparent and evident for us when we received this torch that we would have specific training classes to train the crew to use it, and we will have to teach the crew how to use it in open space which procedures they have to use. Yeah, so I hope that it will be safe for the crew to use them, but maybe some technical details will be later worked on already on board the station.
Олег Валерьевич, без дополнения? Всё?
Do you have any other questions? Will you have any other questions for us?
Утреннее шоу первой смены Ретро ФМ. Во-первых, очень
Retro FM morning show. It's very good to see you once again. I'm very glad to see that you're smiling.
wish you good luck in space. Мы желаем вам удачи всем и дублируйте.
Good luck to all of you and also to the backup crew. I have a question for you. So you will be having your New Year celebration, New Year holidays. You'll spend them on board the station. Do you already have Christmas tree with you?
У вас там постоянно.
There is a permanent Christmas tree there. Yes. So this will be my second New Year that I will be celebrating on board the station. So there are Christmas toys, there are New Year toys, there are decorations. They're already on board the station. And my understanding is that all crewmates, all crews used those decorations. So we're going to do the same.
По традиции, по нашей российской, 10
So
дней выходных.
will you also have 10-day holidays as in Russia? It's a Russian tradition to have 10-day holidays. Well, we will be celebrating the New Year 16 times because there are 16 orbits in 24 hours. Well, that's a joke. But yes, we will be celebrating the New Year per the time in those countries, the representatives of which are already on board this station. So Japanese, Russian, Houston New Year, we'll be celebrating the New Year. So you're not going to get any rest from work? No, 16 orbits, 16 celebrations.
Черному котику замечательному.
Will there be any other mascots besides the wonderful black cat? What else are you taking with you to the station?
Родных. Обязательно.
Photographs of my family.
Майк, я знаю, кое-что берет.
I know that Mike maybe can add something to this.
So I don't have a black cat that I'll be taking with me.
У меня нет черной кошки, которую я с собой буду брать, но
But I do have a few special mementos that I'll be taking up with me. One very important is my wedding ring and the wedding band of my wife. I do take off the ring when I'm working around equipment, but I will have it very close to me on a necklace.
Hello,
Я Егор Клинаев.
my name is Igor Klinaev
Пора в космос. И я хотела
from the Carousel TV station. I have a question for you. I met Sergey Ryazanskiy at GCTC and we were working out together. And I had a chance to see it once again that cosmonauts are very well prepared for the station. So my question is, in which sports can you compete, for example, during the Russian Olympics? So maybe there is some specific sport.
На самом деле, видов спорта
Yes, there are quite a few sports where we can be really good athletes. We can ski, we can run, we can swim.
такой вид спорта
So we were discussing
на деятельность.
among ourselves which type of sports is more like work in space, is like synchronous swimming. Well, I can see the reaction of all the people present here. I think it's understandable why it is so, because we're doing everything in parallel. Yeah, maybe diving also, because the crew has to be playing as team players, and they're very well prepared for that. And when you talk about running, of course, if they go to the Olympics, and the distance that they will be running on their treadmill on board the ISS is longer than the Olympic distances. Hello, I'm also from the Carousel TV station. When will you be completely adjusted to 0G? So we would like to see you showing some tricks on board the station. I think we will be able to do that in a couple of hours after we launch in our Soyuz vehicle. It's very unusual for those who fly to space for the first time. You can do somersaults because it's sometimes hard for those people who fly to space for the first time to move in the direction they want to move. Sometimes they just get lost, and they sometimes ask their colleagues, their crewmates to help them out. So I think that it takes maybe a couple of days for them to get completely adjusted to 0G, to be able to orient themselves in 0G. So when you go to space for the second, third time, you don't have this such a long period of adjustment. Thank you very much.
Конечно, как вам?
Ребята, еще раз поздравляю.
Congratulations once again. Have a safe flight. I have a question. I know some of your crew members, and I like the atmosphere that you have in your crew. I think you're all friends, and I have a question for each of you. Can each of you please describe your crewmates? So can you say like the main words that would best describe your crewmates?
Игорь сейчас неосмотрительно задал вопрос, потому что бортинженеры про командира не могут плохо.
No, flight engineers cannot say bad things about their commander. Yes, of course. I know that you won't say any bad words about anyone. It's a very dangerous question. First, you can characterize them as professionals, as human beings, as friends. There are a lot of words that I can say about my good friends, my crewmates. But to sum it up, I can say that I am very lucky to have such a great crew. The atmosphere in our crew is wonderful, and I'm really looking forward to starting working all together on board the station, to starting living together as friends, as crewmates. Yeah, we are a great team. We support each other very well. We have very good relationships inside, within our crew. Well, these are maybe the main words besides those professional characteristics that I can give them. I can say that my commander was a role model for me before I even was assigned to this crew. I have never seen anyone working as hard as Mike. He's the right seat. He's performing a lot of functions in the Soyuz vehicle. He's always ready to help us, to assist us. He's always alert, so to say. And he has a very good sense of humor. You know, you cannot live on board the stations for a long time without a great sense of humor. So Mike has it.
My turn. I guess first, I'm not quite sure how I got so lucky to be included on this crew.
Так, теперь моя очередь. И я не могу передать словами, насколько я счастлив, что я попал в такой экипаж.
No, for Sergey, I would just say a guy's extremely intelligent.
Про Сергея скажу, что он просто невообразимо умен.
And very funny.
И очень веселый.
For Oleg, I would say extremely experienced.
Про Олега я скажу, что он очень опытный человек.
And he has a calming presence about him. So as we go through training and we're doing emergencies, he just seems to bring it down to the right level.
У него очень хорошее чувство самообладания, что когда у нас случаются нештатные ситуации, то он всегда ведет нас вперед и помогает справиться.
And then finally, I think probably most important is two friends.
You know that we had a competition at GCTC, the best question for the crew. We didn't expect to see so many applications. We received a couple of hundreds of questions, and the crew selected 12 questions, and some of these questions were answered already by the crew, so we invited those people who asked those questions to be present during this press conference. I would like to give the floor to our representative from Yekaterinburg to ask his question in person. Go ahead. Oleg, I know that a dream to become a cosmonaut is a bit crazy. How did your family react to your desire, and what did they say about your desire to become a cosmonaut? Well, I cannot say that this dream is crazy, but it's not something that cannot come true. I always wanted to go to space, and I wish you to fly to space as well if you really want it, because it's a great experience. My parents always were very supportive of all my dreams. I know that parents usually support their children if they don't like their dreams. Thank you. This is your first flight. So, how did your dream start to become a cosmonaut? Did you have any hurdles that you had to overcome? Yes. When I was an adult, I started dreaming of becoming a cosmonaut. When I was a child, I liked everything about space. My grandfather always told me about space. He was one of the chief designers of space vehicles, and he had a lot of stories for me. So I wanted to do the same thing. I wanted to have the same interesting job. At the same time, I was majoring in biology later, and I chose that path. Then later in my life, I got a chance to fly to space, and I didn't want to miss that chance, so I'm here. Thank you very much. So this was Yekaterinburg. Now let's go to St. Petersburg. Hello. Good afternoon. I'm the head of the astronauts club in St. Petersburg. I have a question for Oleg Kotov. What was the most difficult thing about your training, psychological, or what was the most difficult part? I think the technical part was the most difficult. If you talk about our physical shape, we always have to be in great shape. It's not our desire, it's a requirement of any cosmonaut or astronaut. So while I was part of the cosmonauts corps here in Russia, I had to be in great shape. Talking about psychological preparation, it's also a very important aspect. And all our work that we were doing in the cosmonauts corps, different types of training, everything like that was targeted at preparing you psychologically for such a flight. To be absolutely prepared for your launch, to have a good mood, to be ready to work, to have a good approach. However, our training flow is mostly focused on your technical preparation and training. You know that every program is different, every mission program is different. So we were trained to work individually as a crew member, and we are very grateful to our instructors at GCTC, to our technical specialists who helped us prepare for our flight. I would like to thank everyone from other organizations who helped us prepare for this flight. Our readiness for the flight is the result of work of hundreds or even thousands of people around the world. Thank you.
Спасибо большое. Ну, давайте еще один детский вопрос из Вологды.
Okay, one more question from Vologda.
Меня зовут Вася
Hello, my name is Vasya Karamov. I'm from Vologda. Do you have any fears? Are you afraid to fly to space, and how do you cope with all your fears?
Как говорят наши психологи,
Our psychologists usually say that if a person is not afraid of anything, then to psychiatrists.
космонавты такие же люди.
Cosmonauts are regular people, and of course we have regular fears. Of course we have some worries or concerns during our training flow, but in the course of this training flow, you get used to being exposed to some risk, and you learn to cope with these fears.
Подумать о них можно потом.
But we can think about our fears later, so we try not to think about them. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, I also have a fear,
Да, у меня тоже есть небольшой страх.
and that is that this is all a dream, and I'm going to wake up and not have the opportunity to fly into space.
Что в один момент я проснусь и пойму, что я не готовлюсь к полету в космос.
Ну, потом индивидуально, Вася, к тебе подойдут космонавты и расскажут, как они со страхом не могут всем рассказать.
Maybe our cosmonauts will tell us later what fears they have. They are real cosmonauts, that's why they don't have fears.
Журналисты начали немножко возмущаться, почему это говорит.
Professional journalists here
У нас у кого вопрос?
have some concerns about the time here,
У меня такой небольшой вопрос.
so let's give the floor to them. I have a small question for you.
Как ваши собственные
What was the reaction of your own children to your flights to space? So who will be seeing you off at Baikonur? No, my children are proud of me.
Конечно, скучают.
Of course, they are going to miss me. My eldest son will be at Baikonur. He's already a high school student, so he'll be seeing me off. And your children? Do they have anything else to do? Of course, they have to be proud of me.
Ну, что могу сказать?
What can I say?
Каждый родитель, наверное, в чем-то
So,
пример.
each parent should be a role model for
Могу сказать, что
his or her children. I can say that my son wants to become a cosmonaut. He wants to become a surgeon as well. So
однозначно сказал,
my daughter told me that no, she would not become a cosmonaut because she knows how difficult this profession is.
не полетит, он не сможет, а
So my son will not be at Baikonur, but my daughter will be seeing me off. Great.
So I have two sons, and they're very excited for this upcoming flight.
У меня два сына, и они очень рады тому, что я полечу.
They're going to have the opportunity to come to the launch.
У них не будет возможности посетить запуск.
And I think the most exciting thing for them is that they're going to miss about 10 days of school for the launch.
Извините, у них будет возможность посетить, и, наверное, самая неприятная вещь, которую они будут переживать, то, что они 10 дней пропустят в школе.
Спасибо большое.
Thank you very much.
Я хотела предоставить слово Березутскому Юрию Анатольевичу.
I would like to give floor to Yuri Berezutsky.
Я хотел поправить немножко. Не Курск, а Курская область, город Курчатов.
I'm representative of the
Так, у меня вопрос лично к
Kursk Oblast. I have a question
Сергею Николаевичу.
for Sergey Ryazanskiy.
Вы были участником эксперимента.
You were a participant of Mars 500 experiment in 2006 or 2007.
В этом эксперименте ваш
So I know that Oleg Artemyev was also participating in that experiment.
МКС тоже.
So you'll fly to the station.
Вы еще сохраняете вот это вот участие в будущих миссиях на Марс.
So will you be participating in future Mars experiments? Are you planning to fly to Mars in future? Of course, every soldier dreams about becoming a general. So I was dreaming about going to the station, and my dream came true. If I have a chance to fly to Mars, yes, of course, I will use that chance. If we have that chance in our lifetime. So Oleg will fly to the station soon, in 6 months. So we will continue performing our scientific experiments and fly to Mars if that's possible.
Потому что ядерный двигатель уже на Марсе был в 2013. Так что я что все полетели.
Yes, we will fly to Mars, I agree.
Я могу слышать Шиндину. Я вам хочу сказать, что вопросы абсолютно разные приходили от разных людей, разных возрастов, профессий. И начальных классов, преподаватели, журналисты, студенты.
I know I would like to mention that we have a lot of representatives of different professions here, from agriculture, journalism, teachers, high school teachers, university teachers, professors. I have a question for Oleg Kotov. Do you read any fiction on board the station?
И вот опираясь на ваш ответ, могу ли я им сказать, что читаю книги не только на Земле, но и за ее пределами?
So I know that you read a lot here on the ground. Will you continue reading in space? Yes, I can tell you that there is even a small library on board the station, and cosmonauts do read books there. Some people simply leave their own books on board the station. The library is not that big, unfortunately. We have books in English there too. So lately, I like to read electronic books in the electronic format. It's easier for me. I have a lot of books like that, so I can download a lot of books at the same time. So we have electronic books on board the station too. I think that each crew member can select his own books that he would like to read. It's not only fiction. There are a lot of genres there. So reading is a very pleasant activity on board the station. So especially if you take a real book, a paper book, and you start turning pages. Thank you. I would like to remind you that Sergey was participating in the experiment when he read 79 books in 105 days. Wow. Okay, let's continue our press conference. I have questions from people who could not be present here. Hello. I was participating in the competition organized by GCTC, and we received a lot of questions for you. And the best question is the following. What traditions do USOS crew members have, and which traditions do Russian cosmonauts have?
So this is my first flight, and so unfortunately I didn't have the opportunity to fly on the shuttle.
К сожалению, это мой первый полет, у меня не было возможности слетать на шаттле.
And so I haven't had the opportunity to experience many of those traditions that our astronauts have with the shuttle and earlier.
И, к сожалению, у меня не было возможности проследовать всем традициям, которые есть у наших американских астронавтов в связи связанных с шаттлом.
Though I'm certainly excited about having the opportunity to share in some of the Russian traditions, and we're getting to experience some of those today.
Ну, конечно, у меня будет возможность испытать русские традиции, какие-то другие, в зависимости от ситуации.
Yes, of course, we do have traditions on the Russian segment. We cannot say that Russian cosmonauts are superstitious. However, they do follow their traditions. For example, to leave your autograph on the door before the launch day. Then this song that we are listening right before leaving our hotel, before we go to the launch pad. There are traditions, but I cannot call them superstitions. Then we watch The White Sun of the Desert. That's a Russian movie right before the launch. So our manned flight program is sometimes based on these traditions, and sometimes you don't even remember how these traditions originated. Michael said that he didn't have a chance to fly on shuttle. That's why he doesn't know these traditions. I had this opportunity. I can tell you that, of course, there are some traditions that to some extent is a general tradition. I won't be describing this tradition in detail. Can you tell us? No, I won't. Well, listening to your replies, I can say that it really proves that this is an international experience for all of us. I have a question from Victoria from the Moscow region. I have a question. Where would you like to go on Earth? If you had a magic wand, where would you go? Where? For a biologist, it will be great to go to some exotic places, so I really have this dream. South America and Alaska, Madagascar. I would like to be everywhere. I would like to go everywhere on Earth. So that's my dream. So wherever I was, wherever I traveled on Earth, it was interesting everywhere. Each country has its own climate, nature, traditions. Everything is interesting. You want to see everything there.
So I've had an opportunity to travel a lot during my job.
У меня была возможность много путешествовать во время моей подготовки.
But I've never had the chance to go to either Africa or Antarctica, so I think those would be two great places to visit.
Но пока мне не представился шанс посетить Африку или Арктику. Я хотел бы туда съездить.
Вы знаете, это еще может быть какая-то иллюзия, что космонавты много где бывают.
You know, maybe it's some illusion that cosmonauts travel everywhere. Well, some of us, yes, we travel to a lot of places. We have seen a lot of places in different conditions. We travel a lot, but in reality we have an opportunity, even less opportunity to travel than those people who are not cosmonauts, because they have more time. And right now, we have 3 questions. Ekaterina, please ask your first question. Yep. So these should be brief questions. Hello, my name is Ekaterina. My question about sport was already asked, so I would like to ask a different question for Sergey. I'm a Moscow State University student, and I know that you were studying there too. Which subject do you think will help me best to become a cosmonaut in future? Thank you.
Вы хотите один предмет, мать?
Only one subject? Sport, physical training. Everything else, you can learn that later. But physical training is important. Just study what you like most. That's my advice to you. Alexander, your question.
Здравствуйте, уважаемые члены экипажа Союза Ремарки Sept.
Dear crewmates, my name is Alexander. You are an international crew. Which team will you be supporting during the Olympics? United States or Russia? Of course, we will be supporting our own countries, our own teams. I think that's natural. And we'll be supporting those sports that we'll be able to see on board the station. I think it will be difficult to watch everything from board the station. However, we'll have a couple of broadcasts, I'm pretty sure of that. I hope that our psychologists will be able to send us the recordings of those competitions that are most interesting to us. Mike, please answer this question as well.
So, of course, I'll be supporting the U.S. Team.
Конечно, я буду поддерживать команду США.
But I think everybody also likes to support the underdogs.
Ну, конечно же, все любят отстающих поддерживать.
And final question, please. Today we saw a video from your training. How will you deliver the Olympic torch to the station? Can you describe your training? How will you be using the Olympic torch on board the station? Yes, so as I already told everyone, we won't have flames on board the station due to some safety reasons. We have some technical constraints. We will take the torch with us to space, and this torch will be delivered by the Soyuz vehicle that will launch in November. The commander of that will be Michael Turin. Kaiichi Wakata and Rick Mastracchio will be also crew members of that crew. So they will deliver the torch. Hopefully that will happen on November 7th. On November 9th, we will take this torch to open space with us. We'll take it to the EVA, so we'll be taking pictures there. We'll be recording video. We will be passing this torch to each other, and on November 11th, this torch will return to the ground by the crew of Fedor Yurchikhin. And then the torch will continue participating in the relay of the Olympic torch. So it's a unique situation when we'll have 3 crews on board the station at the same time. So we will have direct handover. So I think it will be an interesting time, though it can be complicated. Thank you very much. Can you answer one more question? Not a question, but who is going to be the winner of our competition? Yes, we reviewed all the questions that were submitted to us. It was very difficult to find the best question or to select the best question. So we wanted to invite the winners here. So we will be answering the remaining questions from the board, from the station. Some of these answers will be posted on the website of GCTC. And those people who were here, who asked their questions in person, I would like to give them our photographs with our signatures, autographs, and such diplomas. So I would like to give such photographs and diplomas to each participant who is here. Thank you very much. I know that you also have a very tight schedule today. You will go to the museum today, to the Red Square. And I would like to take a traditional photo right now.
Использовали великолепные вот эти дневники, которые велись и публиковались в новости космонавтики. Это здорово. Мы, конечно, рады за Олега. Мы с ним давно дружим. И, в общем-то...
Пожалуйста, вы их отвлекаете, можно
не сбивайте.
Посмотрите, что пишут.
Олег учится.
Отлично. Пожалуйста, внимание. Все, спасибо. А теперь девушки.
Я буду просить, чтобы вы увидели фотографию. Вот.
На меня, пожалуйста, посмотрите. Так, внимание на меня. Да. На меня, пожалуйста, посмотрите. We're here out in Red Square video recording some of your traditional ceremonies, and we're sorry about the bad weather, but could you just to tell us a little bit about how you're feeling today getting ready for your space flight?
Well, right now feeling a little cold, a little wet, but actually no, it's very exciting to be here. It's great to have the opportunity to participate in these traditions. It's just a wonderful step. We've still got a few weeks to go, but we're getting close.
All right, thanks a lot, Mike, and we're looking forward to your mission.
Okay, thanks.